There are moments in history when the veil trembles, when the boundary between worlds thins, and a revelation descends like lightning into human consciousness. This is the story of one such moment. A grieving disciple standing in the shadow of the crucifixion, a world shaken by empire and doubt. A man named John, overwhelmed by fear, confusion, and the weight of spiritual loss. And then, a burst of divine radiance splits the silence. A presence beyond presence, a voice older than the stars themselves. John, why do you doubt? Why do you fear? I am he who is with you always. Thus begins the secret book of John, also known as the Apocryphon of John, one of the most forbidden, mystical, and explosive texts ever recorded. A gospel hidden for nearly 2,000 years. Buried, forgotten, and rediscovered only when the desert sands finally surrendered their secrets in 1945 at Nag Hammadi. Why was this text hidden? Why did institutions fear it? Why did the early church condemn it as heresy? Not because it opposed Christ, but because it dared to reveal a deeper Christ. A cosmic Christ, born not in Bethlehem alone, but in the infinite womb of eternity? This is not the story you learned in church. This is the story whispered in secret chambers, guarded by mystics, feared by emperors, and hunted by orthodoxy. In this gospel, Christ does not come merely to save. He comes to wake the sleeping, to remind humanity of its celestial origin, to reveal that the world we see is not the true world, and that within every human heart burns a fragment of divine light forgotten. Here, creation is not simple or serene. It is a cosmic drama, a tragedy of wisdom, a fall from unity, and the desperate struggle of the soul to remember where it came from. Here, God is not a distant king, but the boundless, the unknowable, the light before all lights. And the creator of the physical world, not the ultimate God, but a blind architect, a cosmic impostor, a being who believes himself supreme because he cannot see the realms above him. This text is not a story. It is a map, a roadmap out of illusion, through divine remembrance, back into the pleroma, the fullness, the infinite, the home we lost when we fell into matter. If you feel deep within that life is more than flesh and breath, that your soul remembers something ancient, something luminous, something that the world has trained you to forget, then the secret book of John was written for you. Today, we will walk through its revelations, decode its symbols, and explore the cosmology it dares to unfold, a cosmology where Christ is the revealer, Sophia is the forgotten mother, and you are not fallen creatures, but exiled light. Welcome to the gospel they tried to erase. Welcome to the truth beneath the truth. To understand the secret book of John, we must travel backward, not to the soft glow of stained glass and medieval hymns, but to a raw and turbulent era where empires rose, gods clashed, and spiritual truth itself was contested ground. The year is roughly 2nd century CE. Christianity is not yet a unified religion. It is a constellation of mystical schools, sects, and revelations. Some worship Jesus the man. Some study Christ the Spirit. Some look inward toward the kingdom within. Others await an earthly kingdom to come. In this crucible of belief, a mystical current arose. A current that claimed that Christ did not merely come to forgive sins, but to awaken souls trapped in illusion, to remind humanity of its divine origin, and to reveal the structure of the unseen cosmos. These seekers called themselves Gnostics, from Gnosis, meaning inner knowing, direct experience of the divine, truth not through belief, but revelation. Gnosis was not meant for the masses. It was whispered to the few, those capable of bearing its weight, those who would not turn revelation into dogma, but into transformation. According to tradition, the Apocryphon of John was revealed to the Apostle John after the crucifixion, when he sat in despair, wrestling with doubt. Christ appears to him. not as the wounded teacher, but as the eternal light, the eon who stands beyond time, the cosmic Christ who existed before creation and who exists still within each awakened soul. This revelation would ignite a mystical movement and provoke a violent response. By the 4th century, a new force had emerged: imperial religion. Rome, once threatened by Christianity, now adopted it, weaponized it, and sought to unify it under one doctrine, one authority, one vision of Christ that served power, order, and obedience. Truth became law. Mysticism became heresy. Diversity of revelation became threat. The secret book of John, with its vision of a Christ who awakens rather than commands, and a God beyond the God of Scripture, was branded dangerous. Why? Because it taught that divinity lives within you, not in a throne, not in a temple, not in an institution. Because it revealed a hierarchy of realms above the material world, implying that the God who made this world was not the highest. Because it called humanity not sinners, but exiled sparks of the divine, trapped in flesh by deception, and capable of returning home through inner awakening. A people who believe they are divine are difficult to rule. Thus, the text was condemned. It vanished into the shadows, burned, banned, remembered only in whispers by mystics, monks who hid scrolls, and seekers who refused to bow to orthodoxy. Then, silence. Centuries passed. And in 1945, in the sands near Nag Hammadi, Egypt, a clay jar was broken open, and the lost voice of early Christianity breathed again. Inside, gospels, mystical poems, dialogues with the divine, teachings on Sophia, the pleroma, and the true nature of Christ. Among them, the secret book of John, intact, radiant, as if waiting for a world ready to hear it again. The text reflects a cosmology both ancient and revolutionary. The One, the unknowable source. The eons, emanations of divine consciousness. Sophia, the divine feminine wisdom. The Demiurge, the blind creator of the material world. The soul, divine light trapped in flesh. Christ, the revealer, awakener, liberator. This is not mythology. It is metaphysics wrapped in symbol, a spiritual blueprint, a map of consciousness disguised as a creation story. The secret book of John does not ask for worship. It invites awakening. It does not threaten damnation. It reminds you that the world you fear is not the true world at all. It does not shame the human condition. It declares it a divine exile yearning to return to the source. And this is why we study it, not as archaeologists, but as souls remembering. Before there was light, before time began its slow heartbeat, before stars pierced the velvet of nothingness, there was the One. Not a God in the way we understand gods. Not a being that existed within creation, but the boundless origin before creation. Beyond form, beyond name, beyond comprehension. The One is not a thing. The One is isness itself. Pure consciousness, infinite fullness, the source of all possibility. It does not think, it emanates. It does not create by hands, it overflows by nature. From this infinite ocean of being arose eons, radiant emanations, expressions of divine qualities, like currents flowing from a single luminous sea. Among these eons dwelled Sophia, whose name means wisdom, not merely intellect, but the living feminine principle of divine knowing, the mysterious pulse of insight that gives shape to truth. Yet even in perfection, there can be longing. Sophia, radiant wisdom, desired something profound, to know the source in a new way, to create not in union, but alone. A bold act, a solitary yearning, a divine risk. In her longing to mirror the One, Sophia reached beyond her proper place in the cosmic order. Her creation was not born of harmony, but of impulse, a flash of divine imagination unrooted in the fullness. And from this solitary act came something unfinished, unformed, a spark of power wrapped in confusion, a being who would know neither his source nor his proper place. This being would become known as Yaldabaoth, the Demiurge, the architect of the material universe. Not evil in essence, but blind, cut off from the realms above, a child of divine power born without knowledge of the divine. In his ignorance, he declared, "I am the only God." A God who knows nothing of the light believes he is the light. Yaldabaoth looked upon the sparks of power within himself, the faint memory of Sophia, the echo of her divinity, and he used them to fashion a world. Thus arose the heavens and earth, the archons who govern fate and form, the hierarchy of celestial realms that entrap the soul, not as punishment, but as accident, a consequence of divine power severed from divine understanding. The cosmos we inhabit, in this ancient vision, is not the shining garden of a perfect creator, but the dream and the prison of a God who cannot see the source. Matter is not evil, but it is incomplete, a mirror distorted, a womb where spirit sleeps awaiting awakening. In his creation, Yaldabaoth saw a shape he could not comprehend, a luminous form reflected from realms he did not know existed. Drawn by the mystery, he fashioned humanity in the shape of the divine archetype, but his creation lay lifeless, for no shadow can rise without light. Sophia, seeing what had happened, felt sorrow, not shame, but longing to restore what was lost. And so she breathed her own essence, her spark, into humanity. Thus the human soul was born, a fragment of the pleroma trapped within the fabric of a lesser world. The Demiurge saw humanity rise and felt fear. He sought to bind the soul to matter, to control what he could not understand. And so began the ancient struggle, spirit remembering versus illusion binding. Witnessing the exile of divine light, the true source, the One, sent forth a liberator, a revealer, a bridge between worlds, not to die for sins, but to awaken forgotten divinity. This revealer is Christ, not merely the historical Jesus, but the eternal eon, the light of the pleroma sending into the dream to call the sparks home. When Christ enters the world, he does not come in wrath, but in remembrance. He whispers the forgotten truth. You are not from here. The soul recognizes the voice not with ears, but with the ache in its deepest chamber, the ancient homesickness, the longing for a place we barely remember, yet deeply know. This is the heart of the secret book of John. The world is not your prison, it is your sleep. And Christ is not your judge, he is your alarum. If the text is true, if its cosmology is not myth but memory, then each moment of yearning you feel is not weakness, but signal. Each time you sense you are meant for more, each time the world feels thin, each time something whispers that reality is deeper than what you see, that is not imagination. It is ancestry. The spark inside you stirs. It strains against the clay. It remembers the heavens. The question lingers now, soft but insistent. Are you matter trying to ascend, or light trying to awaken? Tell me in the comments below. Do you feel the world is a veil? And subscribe to continue this journey beyond belief and into remembrance. To read the secret book of John is to step into a universe layered like a temple, ascending chambers of consciousness, each guarded by forces that do not wish to be seen. It is not simply mythology. It is a map of reality, a metaphysical anatomy of existence. To the uninitiated, creation appears simple. A universe, a world, a body, a life. To the Gnostic initiate, creation unfolds in levels, each reflecting a deeper truth hidden behind the one before it. Let us traverse these realms. 1. The ineffable source, the One. At the highest level is the One, the unconditioned origin, the pure light beyond all thought and form. No image can contain it, no name can define it, no mind can grasp it. It simply is. and all things emanate from its fullness, the Pleroma. 2. The Pleroma, realm of eons. Below the One lies the Pleroma, the realm of divine emanations called eons. They do not live in the way we do. They are states of divine being. Mind, nous. Truth, aletheia. Word, logos. Life, zoe. Wisdom, Sophia. In unity, they form the perfect harmony of the divine. They do not worship God. They are God in its unfolding. To experience the Pleroma is to experience yourself beyond self, a consciousness that remembers its source. 3. The fall of wisdom. But harmony once fractured, not out of rebellion, but longing. Sophia reached beyond her appointed place, seeking to know the One directly, to generate life on her own. This act birthed an incomplete being, blind and ignorant of the realms above. Yaldabaoth, the Demiurge. 4. The realm of the Demiurge. Cut off from the Pleroma, Yaldabaoth believed himself supreme. Seeing a spark of power within, he shaped a cosmos, not in divine wisdom, but in fragmented imitation. He created archons, rulers of the planetary spheres, gatekeepers of fate and form. In Gnostic cosmology, these archons are not mere demons, but forces that shape human perception. They rule through ignorance, desire, fear, forgetfulness, ego. Their power is not brute force. It is deception, the hypnosis of the soul into believing that matter is all that exists. 5. Humanity, the divine seed in the world of shadows. The Demiurge shaped humanity, but could not animate it. Sophia, moved by compassion and regret, breathed her essence into the human form, planting a spark of the Pleroma within the clay. Thus humans became a paradox of creation. Divine essence trapped in mortal flesh, gods wearing masks of dust. To the world, this spark looks fragile. To the archons, it is dangerous. To the One, it is destiny. Your soul is not fallen, it is asleep. Your suffering is not punishment, it is exile. Your longing is not weakness, it is memory. 6. Christ the Revealer, not Punisher. In orthodox teachings, Christ descends to redeem sin. In the secret book of John, Christ descends to reveal truth. He does not come to save bodies, but to awaken souls. Not to command belief, but to ignite remembrance. Christ in Gnosticism is the Logos, the bridge between realms, the voice of the Pleroma calling its scattered sparks home. He speaks not to your fear, but to your forgotten divinity. 7. Salvation as awakening. To the Gnostic, salvation is not reward, it is recognition. It is remembering, I am not of this world. It is piercing the illusion, I am more than the body. It is refusing the hypnosis of matter. The archons cannot rule me. It is rising inwardly until the spark reclaims the flame. A hidden teaching in the text. When Christ reveals the structure of the cosmos to John, he is not giving information. He is activating transformation. Knowledge in this tradition is not academic, it is alchemical. To hear it is to be changed. To understand it is to dissolve chains unseen. You do not study the text, you awaken through it. A question for you: if this world is not your origin, if your soul remembers a higher light, if your heart aches with a longing nothing in this world can satisfy, what does that make you? Prisoner or pilgrim? Lost soul or exiled God? Knowledge without transformation is simply myth on a shelf. The secret book of John was not written to entertain the mind. It was given as a ladder for the soul. To study it is to prepare to awaken. To practice it is to begin returning. The Gnostics taught that the divine spark inside us is not kindled by worship, nor earned through obedience, but revealed through inner work. Below are the core practices hidden in this ancient text, methods to remember the light, to loosen the chains of illusion, and to walk as one who knows they are more than flesh. 1. Practice of inner knowing, Gnosis. Sit in silence. Let the world fall away like dust. Turn your awareness inward and ask, who am I before thought? What am I before the body? From where does awareness arise? Do not seek answers in words. Seek the feeling of origin, the still point before identity. This was the first Gnostic initiation, to know oneself as consciousness, not personality. Meditate not to relax, meditate to remember. 2. The Sophia reflection, compassion and correction. Sophia fell not out of sin, but longing, a sacred desire misdirected. Her story reminds us that every error is simply wisdom not yet fulfilled. When you err, ask, what divine longing was I trying to fulfill? Then redirect it. Guilt binds. Understanding liberates. This practice turns stumbling into ascent. It teaches self-forgiveness, a requirement for awakening. 3. The Christ invocation, inner companion. Christ in Gnosis is the revealer within, not a distant savior, but a presence in the heart. Close your eyes. Place your hand over your chest. Whisper inwardly, light within me, show me what I have forgotten. Do not ask for salvation. Ask for remembrance. You are not begging. You are awakening. The revealer responds not to fear, but to longing. 4. The Archon awareness ritual, breaking illusion. The Archons rule through invisible influence, fear, desire, ego, distraction. Throughout the day, observe yourself. When fear arises, say, not mine. When anger burns, say, passing shadow. When vanity whispers, say, mask. Not suppression, recognition. You break illusion not by fighting it, but by seeing through it. The Archons rule the unaware. Awareness dissolves their throne. 5. The breath of return, reconnecting to source. Breathe slowly, deeply, in through the nose, out through the mouth. As you inhale, imagine drawing light from above your head into your heart. As you exhale, imagine releasing illusion downward into the earth to be purified. This breath is ancient. It mirrors the descent and ascent of the soul. Light entering the world, light returning home. Practice for 5 to 10 minutes daily. Each breath becomes a soft rebellion against forgetfulness. 6. Sacred solitude, desert of the soul. And mystics fled to deserts and mountains, not to escape the world, but to escape its noise. You need not go to the sands. Create your own desert. 5 minutes without phone, without stimulation, without outside voices. Sit and be. Let silence carve space for revelation. Solitude is not emptiness, it is pregnant stillness. 7. The daily remembrance affirmation. Speak this each morning. I am light wearing flesh, memory wearing time. I walk not as a creature, but as one returning home. Say it softly. Say it truthfully. Let it settle like dawn inside you. You don't affirm to become, you affirm to remember. And a warning, this path is not for those who seek comfort. To awaken is to burn illusions, and illusion burns as it leaves. But for the ones who walk it, every moment unveils meaning. Every breath tastes like eternity rediscovered. Every heartbeat whispers, I am more. Do not rush. Do not force. Awakening is not a sprint. It is a return. Move slowly. Shine steadily. You are not learning. You are remembering. There are scriptures meant to command obedience. And then there are scriptures meant to wake the soul like thunder. The secret book of John belongs to the second kind. It does not speak to the frightened believer clinging to promises of salvation. It speaks to the wanderer, the seeker, the exile, the one who has always felt that they are not fully of this world. It speaks to the quiet ache felt late at night when the world falls silent, the strange nostalgia for a home never seen but deeply known, the mysterious certainty that life is not merely survival, but Remembrance. This text is not history. It is a mirror held up to the soul to remind it. You are not merely born, you descended. You came from light, fell into form, and wrapped your divinity in flesh, not as punishment, but as pilgrimage. Your life is not the first chapter, it is the middle. Your birth was not arrival, it was descent. Your destiny is not death, it is return. The path of Gnosis is not escape from the world, it is awakening within the world. It is remembering the spark, guarding it from illusion, and feeding it until it becomes flame. And yet, this journey is not walked alone. For where there is a spark, there is always breath. Where there is longing, there is always calling. Where there is exile, there is always guide. Christ in this gospel is not a distant king, but the whisper behind your thoughts, the flash of truth inside confusion, the silent witness in moments of stillness, a voice that says, "You were never meant to sleep forever." He does not demand worship. He ignites awakening. He does not condemn. He reminds. The pleroma is not somewhere you go. It is something you become again. It flowers inwardly as illusion dissolves and the soul reclaims its radiance, layer by layer, memory by memory. You are not climbing toward God. You are peeling away everything that is not God in you until only light remains. This is the secret meaning of salvation in Gnosis, not rescue, but recognition, not submission, but sovereignty, not hoping for heaven, but remembering you came from it. So now I ask you, do you feel it, the stirring, the warmth, the strange flutter beneath the ribs, as if something ancient is waking inside you? This is not imagination. This is ancestry. This is the spark remembering the sun. If this teaching resonated with you, if some part of you whispered, "I knew this," then subscribe to this channel, Labyrinth of the Veiled, and walk this path with us. And tell me in the comments, do you believe you came here to awaken, or to remember who you already are? Your words may awaken someone else. The labyrinth is walked alone, but we rise together. Welcome back, traveler. The journey home has already begun.